When you think about it, the college years of a person's life are just a fraction of their entire life. Well, where you go and what you do in college certainly leaves a lasting impression. And for good reason, Ohio University has made a lifelong impact on Bobcats everywhere. It's always special to come back home, but it's always even more special on a homecoming week. Happy homecoming, everybody. And the crown jewel of the homecoming week festivities, the football game. It's Ohio at 3-3 and 1-1 in the MAC, and Bowling Green at 4-2 and 2-0. I'm Russ Eisenstein. Yeah, there's a lot to balance on homecoming week, a lot of pomp and circumstance, but for the Bobcats, there's still a game to be played, and a big one. Half the season's gone, half remains. More home games are on the schedule than road games, so now's the time for Ohio to really stress their impact on the MAC East race. And this is a big game to do that. Ohio needs to score. The Bobcats have 114 points through their first 6 weeks of the season. That's the lowest first 6-week total since 2006, when Ohio scored 113 points in that time. The thing about 2006, though, the Bobcats won the MAC East, went to the MAC championship game, and went to the first bowl game in a long time, and the first one in the Frank Solich era. So there is time to get the offense back and going, and they'll have to do so against a Bowling Green team that will allow Ohio to score. The defense has been good. They'll have to be again against a Falcon ball club that's gone through some changes since 2013 and even since the start of this season. In 2013, Bowling Green won its first MAC championship since 1992. BG got the win, lost to Pitt in the Little Caesars Bowl, and head coach Dave Clawson left for Wake Forest. Dino Babers guided Eastern Illinois to the FCS quarterfinals last year and made the move to Northwest Ohio. The Falcons were picked to win the East and another MAC title. Quarterback Matt Johnson was tabbed as the preseason player of the year. Things got complicated in week 1. In the Bowling Green Bowl, Ohio at Kentucky, it was all Western Kentucky. The Hilltoppers rolled to a 38-10 halftime lead, won the game 59-31, and Johnson was hurt. He's out for the year. Enter sophomore James Kanapke. The Falcons vaulted past VMI 48-7 in week 2. In week 3, BG was down 42-39 to Indiana at home with 2:04 left. Then with 9 seconds left, Kanapke found Roger Lewis, and the party was on at Doyd Perry. Falcons 45, Hoosiers 42. The second of back-to-back Big Ten weeks didn't go as well. It was a 68-17 loss at Wisconsin. In the MAC opener in week 5, the Falcons allowed UMass quarterback Blake Frohnapple to have an amazing aerial day. He passed for 589 yards and 5 touchdowns, but Kanapke threw for 443 and 3 scores. The Falcons won 47-42. Last week, it was down to the wire again, and a score with 2:19 left that gave the Falcons a 36-35 win over Buffalo. BG averages more points than anyone in the MAC with 37 per contest. They give up the second most points per game with 42. The Falcons have the best passing game in the league and the second best total offense, but they're last in total defense, giving up 577 yards on average. Kanapke has thrown for 1,559 yards and 8 touchdowns. Roger Lewis, Ronnie Moore, Ryan Burbrink, and Heath Jackson are 1 through 4 in receiving yards. Moore has 4 touchdowns. Travis Green is tops on the ground with 540 yards and 7 touchdowns. Tyler Tate is a kicking weapon, hitting on 11 of 14 field goal tries. Defensively, strong safety Brian Sutton has a team-high 48 tackles. Middle linebacker Gabe Martin has 47 stops and 6 tackles for loss. Freshman cornerback Nick Johnson has 2 of the team's 4 interceptions. Lineman Brian Thomas has 5.5 TFLs, 3.5 sacks. The offense is still there from last year, but the defense has gone from the league's best to one of the league's worst. A lot of motivation this week for the Bobcats. In addition to it being homecoming and in addition to it being a key MAC East ball game, we could think about last year and the Falcons' 49-0 win over Ohio at their place in November. Time for some payback. Homecoming's a great time to pay them back. It should be a fun one. Our coverage on the Ohio IMG Sports Network starts at 1 o'clock with a kick at 2 as we paint the picture of the green and white and the orange and brown. Rob Cornelius, Ryan Boyd, and I will be the guys to do that for you. Happy homecoming. That's our game week preview. For Tanner Smith and Ryan Cochran, I'm Russ Eisenstein. This is Bobcat TV.